What's up, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul. Welcome to Tips and Tricks Thursday, episode number 53. Today's we're going to continue on to part 2 of how to mix your kick and bass tracks in Logic Pro. Now, last week I showed you how to use ducking. Today I'm going to show you how to EQ the actual 2 tracks. So if you didn't see part 1, click the link in the top left-hand corner and that'll take you to part 1. From there, you can hit part 2 and come back to here. But if you've seen part 1, I'm going to get straight into the tutorial right now and show you how to EQ both the kick and bass track to kind of get them to mesh together nicely. As we all know, it's always a problem to mix your bass and kick drum. So with that said, let's get straight into the tutorial. So here's my tracks again if you guys forgot. Alright, so there it is right there. We're going to go ahead and mix this right now. Now, my school of thought is when I open it up in the EQ, so I'm going to open up an EQ on our kick tracks. I'm going to go ahead and EQ that first. I focus on cutting things out rather than, a lot of people like to boost things up, but I like to cut things out and mold my kick that way, just because when you cut out frequencies, you get rid of the stuff that you don't want. But when you boost things, you kind of add things to it, and it just makes it a little bit more messy. In my mind, that's the way I think. So I like to cut things first before I add. Now I'm just going to go ahead and solo the kick track, and we're going to take a listen to it and kind of feel out what we want to do with this kick track. Now, obviously, it doesn't have a lot of low in it. I want the kick to be lower than my actual bass guitar track. Right now, that's not happening. My kick is higher. So I want to change that to have my kick have more thump into it. So here we go. Alright, so obviously I want to add some low end to my kick. And I want to cut out some of that boxiness and just make it a tighter kick overall. So here we go. Basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to boost around the 80 hertz region to give some thump into it. So here we go. So right there, we added some girth to it. Now I want to cut out some of this muddiness that this kick is having. And like I said, if you want to, really the only time I boost something is in the low ends region to get some more thump into it. But now I'm just going to go ahead and cut things out of my kick because I don't like some of the things I'm hearing. So around the 200 hertz region, I can hear that there's a little boxiness going on. So I'm going to cut that out. Alright, so that sounds better. As you can see what I did right there, I basically drag this down to here where my problem is, and then I kind of bring it back up and widen my Q to affect different frequencies in the kick drum. So I'm going to go ahead and take out something in the high region as well because we want to get the harmonics of it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Alright, so that sounds good right about there. Basically, if I go ahead and boost it, you'll hear the sounds that we didn't want. That's why I cut it. And now finally, we're just going to go ahead and kind of curve off some of the high end of the kick because we don't really need that high end. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. All right, and there is how we EQ'd our kick sound. So basically we went through our kick sound, we listened to some elements that we didn't like, the boxiness, the high end kind of chirpy sound. We wanted to add some low end, so we boost the low end. And like I said, always listen to your kick and take out kind of the sounds that you think you're hearing and then just cut it. And most of the time it does work. Just trust your ears and trust what you're thinking. So here we go. We're just gonna go ahead and bypass this and click on and off. A/B it. So this is it on. This is it off. And this is it on. Off, on. So as you can see right there, that is a lot. It's a tighter kick, a lot. It's a tighter kick. Let's just say that. My little mess up right there. But so basically, that is my kick right there. So basically, what you want to do is you want to leave your EQ open, and you kind of want to do the exact opposite on your bass track. So you go to your bass track, open up an EQ. So you can go ahead and listen to the two right now. You'll hear that it's kind of muddied up together because I boost the low end in the kick. So right now it's really fighting for that low end property. So like I said, what you want to do is you want to cut out your low end. In this case, I want my kick to shine. So I'm going to cut out my low end on my bass guitar track so I can let my kick kind of thump through. So I'm going to go ahead and basically do this, but a mirror image of it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my low end. I'm just going to go ahead and do a shelf cut right here. And I'm going to do it till about 80. Because that's where I boosted over there. Actually, I'll do it a little bit more. Let's hear how that sounds. Already my kick track is shining through, and like I said, you see here how I cut around the 200 area. Basically what you want to do is you want to go ahead and boost that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out right here because there's a little problem area right here. So as you can see on my kick track right here, I kind of cut around 2K. So basically what you want to do, you want to boost that in your bass guitar track. So here we go. And basically you want to roll off some of that high end as well. So just kind of take that out. And as you can see, I was playing with the kick drum on it because I want to hear how it affects the kick drum as I'm mixing. You never want to kind of solo out if you're trying to mold something together, you want to get the first track and then you want to kind of play the two together until you kind of get it right. So right there, that's just a quick way to basically EQ them both together. EQ one and then kind of do the exact opposite on the other one. So kind of like a mirror image. So I'm going to go ahead and play and you hear how now with a little bit of EQ, we kind of molded the two together a lot better. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and bring in what we did in part one, which was the ducking. And now you're going to hear even more how nicely they sit together right now. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and A/B this. I'm going to go ahead and start with it off, everything off that we did in part one and part two. Now we're going to bring it on. Alright, so there's right there. That is 2 tricks how you can actually mix your kick drum and your bass guitar track with just some EQ and some ducking, some compression. I'm actually going to go ahead and save this whole session for you guys. So if you kind of didn't really follow what I was kind of doing, you can open it up and kind of test things your own around. You can test the session yourself and kind of look at what I did. Now, I know I didn't really teach the EQ that much, but it's basically all you have to do is listen to what you're hearing and then kind of cut or boost in that area. My kind of suggestion to you guys is first cut and then kind of boost. You want to boost to get more thump, always boost your lower end, but you also want to cut it out on the other track that you want to do like I showed you here. And if you have any other questions on this, you can ask me in the comment section and I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how you mix your kick drum and your bass guitar track in Logic Pro. Some EQ, some ducking. So remember to rate and subscribe for more good videos as they are always coming soon. Good ones for that. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Later.